Welcome back to Learn BC. You're here with Jared. We're here in the series called Warehouse Operations 101, where we're talking standard operating procedures or SOPs. We've done 10. We're on to our next one, which is shipping. And we're going to talk through in this video how you can ship using a traditional warehouse shipment, or how you can get labels using the InsightWorks DSHIP extension that we're partnered with. Before we get started, could you please like this video, give us a thumbs up, share it amongst your coworkers, and if you could subscribe to the channel, it helps us build this channel. Let's get started. All right, for every one of these videos, before we start, we talk through the context and the rules. What is the trigger? What are the preconditions and the key principles? This helps set you up with the knowledge you need to understand the process, understand the why, understand the purpose, and then how, you know, the exceptions, and make sure you can maintain this yourself and feeling empowered. The procedure is just in steps 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever it is, and the outcomes covers off, well, what if it goes wrong, the exceptions, and what are the post conditions. So what happens, green hills, sunny skies, what does it look like in our world with warehousing working? Now, with the context and rules, the trigger here is a sales order has been one, it's released, the shipment's been created, a warehouse shipment, and it's been picked. It's ready to be shipped to the customer. The preconditions here is the pick has been registered, which means you've picked it. Items are actually in the shipping area. So if you've got a dock or a ship station, it's got to be there as your packaging, and the sales order is released. There's a couple of other conditions. Depending on your environment, most of our clients, we require an external document number. If there's no PO from the supplier, the customer, it will fail. And the other condition, if you're using automated labels, you need to have a full address with a phone number. If you don't have a full address and a phone number, you'll get all the way through and go to post, and it will fail. So just be very aware of that on your documents. And again, if you're in the warehouse, that's nothing to do with you. That should have already been done. But you need to be aware of it. And commonly, this is where common mistakes happen, where sales rush through a sales order and release it, and they don't have the details on it. So just be aware. So key principles here in traditional shipping, use for simple shipments, okay? Just where you're not worried. Like if every customer picks up, you probably won't use DSHIP, all right? But DSHIP, option 2, is a phenomenal addition to a warehouse. It works through either directly integrating through manually having, so option 1 is you manually have your freight vendors and it pops up and captures the data. Option 2 is you integrate through software development, your third-party shippers. And then option 3 is you use an existing supported certified integration. And there's 2 of those that are applicable for us in Australia. Number 1 is EasyPost. They are very much dominant in the US. They do have half a dozen or a dozen Australian freight companies, but markship.com, MACHSHIP.com has so many. They must have maybe, I don't know, hundreds, 500 or 1,000 shipping companies that they support. So they have the largest support in Australia. All right. So the procedure for shipping comes with 2 procedures. One of those is traditional, where you, from the shipping and receiving dashboard, you can see your shipments, click on it, open it up, and you will go to the particular document that's relevant for you. You verify the quantities in the quantity to ship. One of the quick ways, if it's blank, you can click autofill and hit post. This shipping label, if you have picks required, normally will fill in the quantity to ship based on what was picked. So you could say I need 10 to ship, but there's only 5 available. It will put 5 in quantity to ship. When you post the shipment, it props up and it will say ship and invoice. You hit OK and it's done. The automation takes care of how customers get emailed their invoices and their shipping dockets. Okay, so you don't, unless you're capturing a tracking number there manually on the sales order or the shipment, it doesn't really do the package tracking very, very easily. That's why we do dynamic ship. So option 2 is DSHIP from InsightWorks. And so we sit on a ship station has a dedicated screen called a package worksheet. And so it should be there. And all we do is we walk up, there'll be a document with the shipment that the team have. They scan the QR code up the top right and it loads. It enters the shipment number, which is step 1. Step 2, we have to containerize the package. So that means we say we're using a box 1, box 2, box 3, depending on the sizes, or a pallet. And in this example today, I'm going to just use a simple pallet. Pallet, item, quantity. So box, item, quantity, all the way through the order until it's packed. Step number 3, we run a command called get label. It gives you the carrier shipping label, which should be pretty automated. And step number 4, we post you just type post and it posts the invoice and ships the order. Now, what are the exceptions and the outcomes? The traditional method, nothing to post, is just generally the quantity shipped is 0. Okay, so if you check that column, we've talked about this already. You got to make sure on your shipment that the quantity to ship is filled, which gets filled from the pick. If it's 0, it's probably because the pick's not done. So there's a pointer there. The other thing is on the DSHIP label generation, there's multiple reasons why it could fail, and we're expecting your warehouse to do further training in DSHIP if you're using it. This is just the majority, 99% procedure that you'll use 99% of the time. So the cause is missing weight, invalid customer address, carrier API issue. The action is scan pack detail to review the specific error message. So this command will be on your screen. The other one you can type is you can go -help and it will print off all the barcodes with all the options that you could scan into your DSHIP station, which is pretty cool. Okay, correct it, correct the package issue, try again. All right, now post conditions. The inventory is deducted. Items are officially removed from the shipping bin and overall inventory. Number 2, documents are generated. So there's a posted sales shipment and posted sales invoice that are generated in Business Central. And the third thing is the order status is fully shipped and invoiced. The original sales order is automatically deleted, and I would say further, it's archived. Let's go take a look at Business Central. Okay, here we are in our warehouse screen. We're currently in a role of shipping and receiving, which is great. I've already got 2 picks that came out with my 2 shipments. So there's 2 here that are sitting, let's just leave that, that would have printed out on the printer. And this is just a template, boiler template. But what we do is we now have a QR code on the pick so you can walk back to the ship station with it. And on the line, we have a barcode for each line, which will change depending on what we're doing. So here we have a shipment, and I can see shipment 30, and we're going to look at the traditional way of doing this in Business Central. As I scroll over on the line, I can see quantity to ship is 5 and 5. So it says I've got both those items, and it's good to ship, and it says it's already completely picked. So this tells you if the package is good to go. And from here, I can click post shipment. If I click that, ship an invoice, and it's done. Okay, just like that, an invoice is raised, the shipment is posted, and depending on your automation setup, the customer will get those emails. So that's pretty cool. That's step number 1. Step number 2 is where we have this shipment 31. And so 31's here, and we need to pretend that I'm going to scan this number. I do have a gun here. Here it is. And I've just turned it on. So I have my gun. All right. And on the task list, I have a package worksheet. The first thing that we do is we scan that number, the QR code on the sheet, and it loads the order in. I have to decide the box I'm using. And a lot of our customers have 5 or 10 different box sizes, and they even put the barcode of their box on the boxes themselves. We scan the box, and it's loaded here, the package detail. Down on the fact box, I can see it's already predetermined the shipping method that I'm going to use. It's got the status, so the document status, and I can see here I've got the shipping details of where we're shipping it to with an email address and a phone number. So I can see there's no packages right now. It's telling me instructions, scan the item that I am to pack. So I scan the item, and it says a quantity, I'm going to put 2. So we rinse and repeat, package, item, quantity. And you'll notice here, I'm getting these carton IDs. This is actually what gets sent to the freight provider. I'm going to do one more. This time I'm going to do it differently. I'm going to run a command called pack all. And commonly, when you've got a lot of little stuff in a shipment, sometimes it's easy to just select the package, pack it all, and it just shoves it all in there. We go and we get the label, and the label's going to print out. So if I had a printer, it would automatically print the label right now. So just waiting for that. There we go. I'm going to send to PDF. I'm just going to open that up so you can see it. And I've got 3 packages with 3 labels. These are samples. But just like that, doesn't matter who the freight provider is. It could be Toll, Star Trek, it could be UPS, Australia Post. It all comes out. Now, we're in a sandbox that's a test environment. That's why there's a delay on that particular integration. It usually is quite snappy. The last command we type in the box is post, and we just hit that, and it posts the shipment and the invoice and clears the screen, and we're then left. Now, one thing that we do have set up, we have an A4 printer at the ship station, and out comes a shipping confirmation that gets sent to the customer. Here's your shipping confirmation for your order. Here's your notes. Here's the items that have been shipped to you today. And that's how that works. It's pretty cool. Okay, so shipping, let's wrap it up. The ship station gives you 2 options. You can ship and invoice a shipment straight from your screen. You can use the package worksheet through the tasks to turn around and do parceling, cartonage, and then send it to the freight provider and get your labels automatically. And again, it's not overly complicated, pending that you've got your QR codes, your bunny ears set up on your ship station. It should be set up, well-oiled, well-tested. It does mean that if you have a new freight vendor that you have to onboard them. That's a conversation for another time. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in SOP 12.